Sorry for running just a little bit late. Hello, Gwen. Nice to see you on tonight. Going to take a minute or two just to quickly cut up some painter's tape for the flags. If I can figure out where that small set of scissors went to. That I'm actually holding in my hand. That's why I can't figure out where they are. But I figured I'd prep it a little bit there. Not expecting anybody on as a guest tonight, though if somebody lets me know they want to be on, I'm sure I'm happy to do that. So, apparently part of the issue I was having was looks like one of the threads might have fallen back, but shouldn't be much of an issue. Missing like maybe one or two threads out of 100 different tama of 12 threads each, for that would be like 1,200 threads. So 1198 I don't think is going to be an issue, but figured I would go ahead and get some of these bits of painter's tape ready for flags so that I can keep going once I get a good rhythm set up. Hey, Chris Schultz, welcome on. Understand about not being able to catch live. Oops. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling much better today. And I almost accidentally put you in timeout. I'm sorry if that actually happened. I don't think it did, but I'm not used to clicking on that part of the tab here. Hey, Marmar, nice to see you on. All right. So I'm still waiting for Danny to give me an address I can mail her braid to. I do have a post office, but if what I understood is from when she was on, she might not actually have that currently paid and active, and I don't want to send it to an address that it might get lost at. So I'm waiting for that response. All right. Cutting is a little bit too wide, but I'll be okay. It's not like I don't have a large enough roll of painter's tape to make it through the night. Considering I'm cutting off strips that are about that wide, that are going to get cut up into like 5 or 6 pieces. And I got a decent amount of sleep last night, but for some reason I'm still kind of sleepy today. I do have an overtime shift tomorrow, so I'm not going to be on too late tonight. Hoping to have at least 2, maybe 3 hours of working on the setup here. Not sure if I'm going to have a stream Friday. I do have an overtime shift, so I'm going to be busy most of the morning till about 2:30 my time zone, and I might have some constable work to do. Depends on what they have available for me to court. Let's see, that doesn't need to be there. That can go over here. And Saturday I have a morning appointment, and I'm debating on whether or not for like a Saturday afternoon stream doing a shop stream or a setup stream for the braid, and possibly do the other one on Sunday, regardless of which one I do. So several options there. Still thinking about it. And excuse me. It's running a little bit late tonight because while I was still a bit sleepy, I figured I should get some caffeine so I don't doze off on my feet, which I have done before, but not recently. And I think my worst or best or most memorable dozing off instance was when I was about like 14 or 15. I had a paper out, and I would bicycle over to it because it was about like a couple miles away from where I lived. And I can remember one morning I was tired enough that while I was riding my bike, I suddenly woke up because I bumped into the back of the car's bumper, The bike was still upright, hadn't started falling over yet, and I was able to like put my foot down so I didn't fall. But yeah, I fell asleep riding a bike at one time. So, and I didn't hit the car hard enough to actually damage it or anything like that. Gives you an idea how slow I was going. Yeah, from what I remember, right before I fell asleep, I was going pretty slow. So, just didn't have enough energy to keep going. And I'm getting some of these clipped. I'll probably go ahead and may not cut all of them right now. I may. I'm not sure. And yes, I'm kind of scatterbrained today. I apologize for that. I've got Election Day constable duties coming up, and confirmed that I hadn't actually asked for the time off yet, though they aren't going to not let me go. Place I work is pretty nice. But I have not been able for the life of me to remember to go and grab the form and fill it out. And I asked on Monday, and it's like Thursday now, so that's been like 4 days that I should have gotten it, and I haven't. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. I realize there's not a whole lot of video going on. I apologize for that, but I am. Hopefully, we will pay out for it later on with more activity. And yeah, I only got 3 left to do. I'll do those later. Scissors over here. All right, so last one we did was yellow. All right, so let me slide this a little more forward so it's easier to see. Let's see, are we in focus reasonably well? It's a little hard to tell right now. Yeah. And let's see if this doesn't make it a little easier, less, a little further out, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and dial in the focus on the tripod rather than the lens, because the lens is clearly way too touchy for the amount of focus it goes through. All right, so let's loosen that up and let me get a little closer in, or a little closer to the height I want to be. All right, let's see. All right, there we go. And I also got to have a little bit of sugar for brain food, since, like I said, I'm a little scatterbrained and tired. So I'll do that while I start. First one, so green is next. I'll pre-stage our tama. Oops, forgot to move that in place. Go. Just verify we've got all 12 lines going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. Okay, we do have 12 lines coming up to the lower level. Do a loop around a finger just in case one of them has a bit more resistance. Looks like 1 or 2 having minor issues, but not enough to keep from feeding. There we go. And we are at to the Tama. We are at to the Tama, okay? Apparently my grammar circuit in my brain is not functioning on all cylinders. Yes, I'm very grumpy about that. I apologize if I keep harping on my frustration. I don't want to make the stream, unpleasant for anybody. I apologize if it is getting that way. Let's see. I am definitely happy with how the working stand is working. So I'm planning on making them for sale, along with Taka-Dais and other supplies. Excuse me. There we go. When we're not, we should be good to go. So I got to start hashing out there we go. Fourth knot in and snug. Just roll this up a little bit more. There we go. So back to the halfway point. Nice and even tension, but looks like it's pretty dry because I got some definite static separation of the threads. There we go. And oops, what is that snagging on? Okay, so it's not on this side, it is underneath. And there we go. The issue I was having was pulling on one of the cones a little hard. There we go. And yeah, the threads are definitely not wanting to stay together. Clear static separation. Don't know if that's going to be an issue. Actually, I could probably spray the cones with a little bit of water. Get a chance to get a little bit of, get a little bit of moisture on them so they're not quite so staticky. And not have to worry about like spraying the threads after they're off the cones. All right, so there's one. It's a little bit long on the tail, but should be okay. And two. I definitely have enough thread that I can afford to be a little sloppy on the ends if it'll make it better on the speed of braiding or speed of setup. The actual speed for braiding won't help all that much doing this. All right, I think that's 4. But you can see what I'm talking about with the separation. They don't want to stay together. All right, so put that back all the way. And let's see, make sure this isn't caught on anything. Oh, picked up some painter's tape. There we go. All right. And free up the other end, bring it up. Make sure that I'm not snagged on anything. There we go. If anybody has an idea for some sort of like connector between the D-ring and the leader thread on the take-up reel, or leader cord on the take-up reel, feel free to point me to it. I don't like the D-ring because it's large and it kind of sticks to the, it doesn't go over the Torii gate or around this part really well. And when it wraps around here, it distorts the braid a bit, which is frustrating, but okay. Oops. Let's see which one. Okay, that one's the one on top. All right. And so what we do is, if I remember right, I drop down here and then under the first, over the second, and under the third. That one's a little long. I might have to roll it up a bit more. Yeah, definitely going to have to roll that one up some more. Do that before I finally set this. And wrap around the wrist once or so, just to keep it from the other end from hitting the floor so much, so I'm not as rude to my wife and my roommate. And I'll catch up on the chat real quick in a minute. Thank you for your patience. There we go. And yeah, it's enough there. We can get this lark's head knot on here. So we had 8 tama as of the start of the stream, which meant we had 92 left to go. All right, so let's even that up just a little bit, and there we go. That's nice and even. Let me catch up on the chat real quick. And hey, Philip Martin, nice to see you on again. Thank you, Gwen. That is appreciated. Hey, Kumihimo Steve. I'm doing pretty good. A little frustrated with myself, but not too horribly. Yes, indeed, I could. Oh, sorry to hear that, Philip. Hope you're feeling better soon. And congrats. It's nice to be organized. It'd just be nice if I didn't let it wait so long before I would force myself to do so. Yeah, sounds like you've been very productive. No, the D-ring does not have to be braided in at the start. This is what I'm talking about here. All it is a ring here to connect it. I want to have something that I can remove relatively easily when it's done braiding, but something much smaller or maybe moderately flexible that I could do there. I may just throw things on the floor. Okay, definitely I'm throwing things on the floor. I apologize for that. And I accidentally clicked myself back out of the studio. All right, let me get the extra camera on. There we go. And there we go. I apologize for that. And yeah, sorry. I sometimes call these D-rings too because that's what my wife refers to them as. But yeah, this is the D-ring. This is the carabiner. I think the reason I don't remember the actual difference, but I know there's the type that has the spring-mounted thing where it catches back up, and then there's also the ones that have the little threaded nut and the gap in between where you can unscrew it, open it up, and then screw it back up again. But now that I'm thinking about it, I could probably take some cord and tie a couple of loops here, and then when I'm done, just cut it off. So, all right, I'll have to look that up and see if I like the design. Though I think talking to you folks has kind of got me out of where it has to be some sort of metal thing, which is probably good. I find when I stop having a very restricted set of parameters for what I'm searching for does tend to help me in the long run. So if I put that mouse up the front side, I'm less likely to knock it over, I think. And while I'm thinking about it, I should probably, I'm going to cut the excess off this one here. And there we go. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do yellow next. Let me pre-stage another Tama. Okay. Let's make sure I don't lose any here. That one, yep. That one is not up with the rest of them. Let's let Mr. Bashful rejoin the rest of them. Okay. Hopefully that's all of them. All right, so doing a quick count, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I see 12 of them coming up. All right, let's go ahead and just pull these back. Got no resistance on here, only a little bit of static separation. Yeah, I think before the next setup stream, I'm going to go ahead and get like a mister bottle so I can spray down the cones so they don't get too staticky and dry. And so I'm thinking I need to get some video bumpers, some video swoops and things like that. And I'm guessing for starting out that fiber sounds like it's a good choice for that. I'll have to take a look on there and see what the going rates are. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with that. But yeah, I think I need to start working a little bit more on upping the quality of the presentation, as well as the quality of the information, if that makes sense. When I first married my wife, I had never really run across anybody who would say, if that makes sense, as kind of a confirmation that you're on the same wavelength of page or whatever. That would kind of annoy me when I first started out. Now I find I do it all the time, and it does kind of bug me that I do it all the time. But that's what I've picked up. And my roommate tells me that my accent is getting more and more Pennsylvania, Philly area accent as time goes on. And of course, I have no idea myself, but alrighty. At least it's behaving reasonably well. It's not really fighting me that much, so I think I'm doing pretty good so far. All right. And yes, I'm in my socks because I don't want to tromp around and make a lot of noise while they're watching TV downstairs. All right. And that reminds me, well, the little bit of fuzz at the end of the leader knot reminds me that I should probably get some more kite string because I'm pretty much out of it. And if I ever need to make some more leaders, I will need more of it. So it'd be good to have it on hand rather than be out and have to order it and wait for it to come. if I remember right, the first time I ordered it took like a week and a half to actually get it after I ordered it. And while it was like 2 or 3 years ago, I've definitely gotten much more used to Amazon since the virus of unnamed origin and unnamed description affected things a few years back. All right, I think, yeah. Okay, yeah. For a second, I was thinking that one of the threads hadn't gone all the way through and was going to be on the outside of the knot, but just like that one here that is not wanting to go through. Let's just get that one through with the rest of them. There we go. And I've lost count, but one more ought to be okay. Because I really don't want these falling on the floor when I'm done at the end of the braid. Okay. Well, the green and the yellow are definitely looking good together. And the shoes I left on the floor, I need to move them so the thread doesn't catch on them. All right. Yeah, go to the other end here. Well, I went ahead and picked up a touch pen for my Surface Book 2 laptop that I have. And I'm hoping that what I will be able to do with that is, all right, so just drop down behind, then up underneath, and under the first, over the second, and under the third. I'm hoping that I'll be able to use that to more easily draw designs for Taka-Dai patterns. I think I'm going to need to go ahead and roll this one up a little bit more on the side as well, or it's going to hit the floor when it's evened up on the location flag. There we go. And yeah, looks like that's a good length. But I went ahead, I got it today. It was one of those Amazon, if you order it tonight, we'll deliver it between 4 and 8 a.m. And they got it to me before I left for work at about 5:15. So I tried it at work on the design, or on the program I use. And since it's web-based, it doesn't really seem to want to draw, but it allows me to, much more accurately pick where I'm going to be touching and changing color. So now I got to find like some low resolution pixel designs of Godzilla, see if I can come up with a slightly better version for that. All right, so we are 12 comma in. We're over 10% mark, so that's pretty good. And let me catch up on the chat real quick. All right. Zip ties would be nice. I have plenty on hand. I think I will probably try that first. I don't have to go and get anything. It's not overly complex, and it's easy to cut off. Yep, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, it's probably more complex than I really need, but the zip tie sounds like it's a really good option for me. Possibly, but I don't have any paracord in the house. I've actually been doing pretty good at trying to get rid of old clothing that I don't wear anymore. Okay. And let's get ready for the next one, which will be green. Still kind of getting a little used to these magnets. But let me see which ones have the issue. I don't see anything specific. Okay, so the top right one kind of spins a little bit, which it really shouldn't need to do, which is letting me know that it's probably, maybe I need to move the base rack a little bit away from the bed frame. I mean, it's going, but it's taking a little bit more resistance to pull it than I'm comfortable with. All right, just tying this one off now. So I would like to get at least 25, well, 24, 28 comma, or 24, 26, because I have to do two at a time. Oops, I made that one a bit short. Hopefully that's not a problem. Let me see if I can't tie a couple of knots anyway. So that's 2. And 3. Should be able to get one more at least out of this. Yeah. Alrighty. It's not going to be cooperative on the last one. There we go. All right, so let's walk this back. It's getting a little better on static, so maybe it was just the surface layer that had dried out so much. The surface layer on the cones. Or something I'm doing is starting to discharge it a little better. Flag is in place, walking it back here. Feels like a little bit of twistiness, but not too horribly bad. All right. And there we go. And go ahead and feed this through without like accidentally knotting my hand around it. There we go. And there we go. Let's go ahead and, it's like one of them is a little long. I hope that's not an issue. Actually, before I tie the knot, let me go ahead and put some tension on this again, make sure that I'm, looks like I got a little bit of it, can't really see it here, but a little bit of twistiness where one of these is not pulled even. All right, so go ahead and make sure they're all pulled up. And let's see. Okay, there's a couple that are a little longer, but not as bad as it was looking. All right, so everything's pulled nice and even for tension. And let's try this again. I hate to say this, but I'm having a real hard time focusing So if I stop talking a little bit, it's because I'm trying to maintain focus, and I apologize if that makes this less than as entertaining as you would appreciate. It's not intentional, and there we go. And there's the first one. And it looks like I missed one from the knot. All right, so let's go ahead and make sure I've got all of those on the right side. Let's do another one to trap that or capture it. Which brings to mind regulatory capture, which I think I mostly understand, but I probably don't have all the nuances down. I'm fortunate that there is a forum that I'm on my text-based NetBSD ISP that I use, where I can talk to people who have had a fair amount of life experience and high knowledge, high education, and lets me enjoy some higher level discussions than I'm ever likely to make otherwise. All right, so let me just cut that off so the ends are even. There we go. Not that it really needs that, but it makes me more comfortable not having it messy. All right, and back there. And I think rather than hanging it over the edge of the rail, given how much I have to re-roll this in to make it short enough, I'm just going to do it right up there and hang it on the end. And I appear to have, there we go, caught it in something. All right, so pull that off. There's something that cat hair that's trying to hang on. There we go. Got that removed. And let's go ahead and get Oryx head knot on this end here. So that one should actually be there. Let's go ahead and hang this. All right, so did I do it? Oh, nope. It twisted around. That's why I'm confused, because this should actually be over here. So when things aren't looking right, odds are something has gone wrong, which sounds kind of tautological, but all right. So yeah, it's under the first, over the second, under the third, and over the fourth. Oops. Nope. Or am I? Okay. Yep. That looks right. Let me get this in position here. All right. I think I'm going to pull some of these back just a little bit. I don't know. They should be okay where they are. I just need to start taking the oldest one off. So I only have 3 concurrently. All right. So I still might be a bit too short. All right, so move this up here. Okay, that's hanging pretty low. I might have to re-roll these off stream. All right, so that one's there. Okay, so under, over. Okay, so that does look right. All right, so let me tear the oldest one off here. And Figure everybody's overwatching the taking care of Maya stream, or yeah. Throwing scissors on the ground. Let me catch up with chats. So okay. Whoops, there's a lot there I missed. All right, let's see. Looks like this is not so much discussion with me, but between you folks, which is perfectly fine. There actually is like 6 magnets on there on the underside, so I can actually just set it on there. I don't need to actually put another one on there. The scissors that are falling are on the Taka-Dai, and I'm not sure I want to put a magnet on there. Alrighty. Hey, Callie J, welcome to the stream. Not sure if I've seen your name before. If this is your first live time on a live stream with on this channel, welcome, welcome. It's good to see you here. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to ask them. But while I'm doing the setup streams, I set up 2 Tama, and then I come down and orient them on here where they're supposed to be. Then I check up the chat, so there may be a bit of a delay. So I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm just keeping up with what I need to do here. So Cookie Mon Steve, I can just set them right here. And I mean, I can knock them off, but or I can set them like that. There we go. Or I can do it this way. Yeah, it's not the best. I got more magnets downstairs I can get, but I'm not sure I want to run and get one today. Okay, so it just did green. It's time to do yellow. Get a bit of fluff there. Let's get that off. And pull the magnet off. Don't let it drop on the floor. Set it there. Oh, before I do that, I want to. All right, so that's not actually touching there. So why is that having the issue? Yeah. I think I see the issue. It needs to be over here. All right, so I'm going to move this one up here. And let's see. Let me roll this up a little bit, see where it's. Okay. So I'm going to switch them like that. So essentially what I think was causing it was I was having like a cross around between some threads. So I will, if I still have issues later on, when I have time after the stream, I'll switch them around until it looks like there's nothing that's crossing around each other. Because the front side here is working really nice. And if I don't have to fight it all the time, I can walk back much faster. It makes it much easier to do this quickly. So if I haven't said it already, since I figure a lot of people are going to catch this on the replay, welcome to the replay crew. And for everybody, if you haven't done it yet, if you could please hit the like, and if you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe. Definitely helps the channel, promotes it in the YouTube algorithm, and it's just kind of a nice thing to do. And I do try and always hit the like on streams that I do watch for people I like. And if you decide you don't like it, you're always capable of like switching it back over to the dislike or not selected as like. You're not like locked into that. All right. Yeah, there we go. That's tied off there. Reset the length here to where it's supposed to be. All right, there we go. Let's walk this one back and grab some painter's tape and mark the midpoint. There we go. There we go. And make sure they're all together. If I use the bar magnet, it's easier to like capture the threads, but it doesn't hold on as snugly as the round one does. So I think okay, so I just have to set it down like that and then kind of trim it. There we go. Okay, so it's on there. It's not coming off. We should be good to go there. And okay, pass this on through. And first knot. Got everything in that one. And second knot. And third knot. One more, and I'll wrap it up. There we go. Move that back. And let's roll this end up. Make sure it's not snagging on anything. There we go. And let's get the lark's head knot as close to this as I can, because every little bit helps. And there we go. And roll up this other end here. Okay, that's about the right length here on this end. All right. Does not look like I screwed up the length here or had it flip around on me. All right, so we drop it down behind as here and come up from the bottom. And we go over the second one and under the third one and over the fourth one. Hey. Now, this is the outer rail, so it's a little bit more room to play with. It's the green ones I need to do as close as possible. All right, there we go. So I'm rolled out a little bit on that side. And don't want it too far up. Let's pull off the oldest flag. There we go. All right. So we have 16. All right, let me catch up on the chat here. Hey, no worries. I'm perfectly happy to have anybody chat about what they like, as long as, you don't break YouTube's terms of service or get my channel demonetized. Hey, Ive Chang, nice to see you on. Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. All right. That would not surprise me. I think there's kind of like a limited selection of colors, and most people do 2 or 3 colors for their or 2 colors for their school colors, and you just try not to clash too closely with the schools that are close to you. All right, I'm gonna cut a couple more of these real quick now that I got some more room to place them for staging. All right, so for 16, I'm not quite a sixth of the way through, but I believe more than a seventh. I remember the way that math works. All right, let me go ahead and check and see if anybody's chatting over on Rumble. All right, so it looks like we got 3 people watching there. Nobody chatting though. No worries. But hello, Rumble peeps. And looks like most people on here are members, thanks to Equality, who has been very generous with donating memberships. None tonight, but then again, she hasn't been on, and it's definitely no obligation on her. It's always appreciated, though, and I definitely need to do a members-only stream fairly soon, so you folks can have that, because that is part of the agreement. All right. Got another sweet of soda. Green is next. All right, let's see if repositioning that cone helps a bit. Not quite perfect, but definitely better than it was. The upper right one, which is a different one, still seems to be having a bit of resistance, but not nearly as much. So I don't think I'll need to do some more repositioning before the end of the stream. It doesn't seem to be appreciably adding to the warping time. For some reason, the ends on this one are behaving rather well. Maybe having them rub across each other was what was causing the static so much on that one. Now that it's not doing that as much, it's not as staticky. I have no idea if that's the case or if it's just a pseudoscientific theory I pulled out of my rear. Right. And I haven't set a redirect for the end of the stream yet, in part because I don't know if Rob is going to be running the very long stream or not. And I'm starting a little bit on the later side for me. And I might be running a bit later if I get myself to wake up and pay attention a bit more. All right, so looks like one of those did it. Yeah, it's just kind of looped around some extra. There we go. Yeah, Rob ends his stream a bit early. I don't want to necessarily redirect people to an inactive stream if they are looking for active ones. Though, as I understand, redirects apparently don't redirect everybody. And I've definitely noticed that myself. I don't seem to not only do I not get the redirect, which I think I may actually have turned off automatic autoplay. Well, I've turned off automatic autoplay for the next thing, which is probably why it's not doing that. But I usually don't even get don't even get the link as part of the display or whatever for the watch this next. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that. Whoops. And there's one. Been a lot more physical at work this week. I've been doing more running production than programming because we got some long-running jobs and not really that much programming at the moment, though it's starting to build up, so I will be doing probably a lot of programming next week. But since I've been handling a lot more physical stuff and doing a lot more deburring, I'm definitely feeling it in my forearms and back. All right, I think that was at least 4. So I got to be careful not to overwork anything to the point where I have problems braiding or working, because that would be bad. Metaphorically, not. Well, probably physically too, but I don't think it's bad enough it'll cause any, serious things, just some mild discomfort. And hey, I can use the exercise. All right, so let's get the lark's head knot around here. All right, so there we go. And roll it up on this end here. And it looks like I have some problems with tension. There's some free hanging thread on this one end here. So I'm going to lark's head knot on this side and set that there. Let's see if I can show you what I was seeing. Yeah, there's a it doesn't show up that well, sorry, but there's a thread that's definitely not matching up. So let me go ahead and undo the lark's head on this side and then re-roll it. And it might just be that I missed one thread when I was doing the lark's head, and no, it wasn't that. Let me unroll this end and see if I can't even out the tension. All right. So let's go ahead and pull back here. Yeah, looks like I need to pay a little more attention when I'm walking it back. It's not horrible. All right, so let me pull this nice and even. Once I do that, I'll just do let's see, yeah, you can see me. I'll just do a little knot right here that'll keep the excess past the end of the knot. All right, so let's make sure that this is all pulled even. Yep, nothing hanging off the end. Actually, okay, there's the excess. Yeah, and I'll just do a little knot here. Okay, unroll this a bit more. And pull that through there, and this through here. All right. Make sure it doesn't get too tight too early. Doesn't really help that I've also a bit more on this side. I'm also having to keep it from pulling away because the other end is hanging free. All right, so the knot is okay. So let's pull on this end here. Make sure the excess is all on the other side. And, okay. This down just a little bit more. I don't want to lose quite so much on the end. Right, so I'm going to have to this up a bit more to slide it down reliably. Okay. Alrighty. Excess is definitely showing up clearly. There's that loose one here. Alright, so pull. Okay, so that's definitely got the excess there. Alright, so let's use my finger here to keep it from tying as I pull the excess past the end. I realize you can't see that much while I'm doing this, and I'm just kind of talking to myself, apparently. But let's see if I can't. All right, there we go. That's problem is you got to pull each thread kind of individually to take out the excess. All right, there we go. I think I got the right one. Right, slide it down so it's not so far from the end. And I think that got it. And it's not too far from the end there, so hopefully that will resolve that issue. I'm sorry that took so long. Let's see if I can't re-roll this. There we go. And since the other end is hanging free, it should be much easier to get this a little closer to where it should be. Yep, that ought to work. All right, let's try this again. Let's try not to walk into it. All right. Okay, so let's see. This one will go on the slower here, and it'll drop down behind, then up underneath. So it's under the first one, and over the second, under the third. Let's make sure I don't pull it through the middle. Over the fourth, and under the fifth. And set that there. It's definitely on the underside where it's supposed to be. Move that flag where it's supposed to be. And am I? Okay, yeah. I was pulling on the wrong spot there. Get that little pull back. And remove that flag there. And let me catch up on chat real quick. Or real slow, depends on what the conversation needs. I am putting 12 threads on the tama, and I'm going to have 100 tama or weights on here. So I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. So 4 on this side matching. And 5 down here. And of course the matching 5 over here. So I have 18 of them set so far. And I have 82 left to go. So I am almost a fifth of the way through, which is pretty good, considering I've been doing this for about a little over 2 hours, 2.5, about 2 hours counting the last stream in. So, alrighty, let me see if there's anything else here. I think that, yep, that was all it's currently. All right. This is actually kind of a light stream. I think I mentioned that, yeah, probably because Rob has got his stream run. All right. Anybody chatting on Rumble? Not currently. Got about 2 people watching now. And there we go. See if I can stand up without knocking anything over. Yeah. Since I'm doing really well, I might only run 2 hours just because I'm a little tired and having a hard time focusing. I apologize for that. And a little more of the snack. Just making sure that I've got everything staged. All right. And a couple loops around the finger just to make sure nothing pulls free that I don't notice, because the thread's really thin. And this is just pulling out nice and easy. All right, that only took like about 5 seconds to walk it back the right length. Or walk it out. I haven't walked it back yet. Let's get this tied off. Ooh, that's a small leader loop. Not a big deal, but just smaller than I was expecting. And that one doesn't want to go in the knot. Let me get it in. And the cat just got let up, which is probably going to be a problem because he likes to help and walk around me when I'm moving, which can definitely cause problems where he might get bumped when I'm not intending to. And so I'm a bit frustrated about that. I apologize if I get a little snappy because I don't want to hurt him. All right. 1 or 2 more knots and should be good to go. He is checking things out, so you'll probably see him on camera in a minute or so. Okay. Alrighty. Walking it back, feels nice and smooth, doesn't feel like it's really tangled. Alright. And get the little painter's tape flag for the halfway point. And there we go. Scissors off, and there we go. And I see he's showing up on camera quite well. Yep, Marmar, it is indeed a kitty. All right. Now, the problem is that I don't want to accidentally step on him because he does like to rub up against my legs when I'm moving around. Now, it looks like he's found a place to go lie down, so I think he'll be okay for a while. All right, there we go. That's tied off. First knot. A little bit of excess, but not too bad. And 2. And 3. And 4. Should be good enough. All right, let's go ahead and roll this up. See if I can avoid it snagging on anything. There we go. It is free and clear. A little bit of tension on it. Looks like it's good for tensioning. Sorry, that should be there. And like I said, knot. And let's roll it up from the other end. And there we go. That's about the right spot to tie this end off. And put that there. And this one goes behind. And that made that one a little too short. There we go. And okay, so it is under the first and over the second, under the third, over the fourth, and under the fifth. Let's go ahead and pull that even with the rest of them. There we go. And tear off the oldest flag. Try not to accidentally move them. Once I get more on there, it'll be less of an issue. All right. And the weave is looking proper. Let me catch up on chat real quick here. Yep, they're trying to assassinate us with love. Okay, all right, so green next. I have 20 tom on here. I am exactly 1/5 of the way set up. All right, let me put these in position. And we're doing green next. Okay, so we are doing green this time. Thinking about the excess wear and tear on my forearm. At work, I've got a coworker that's pretty tall. He's somewhere between like Nick Rekieta and Legal Mindset. And the funny thing is that he has me help him carry sheets of plastic that are ones that I would carry by myself. And because he's enough taller than me, it's kind of inconvenient when we're both holding on to the same sheet. And his level of holding on is like about a foot higher than I'm able to comfortably do it. And I don't mean to be rude, but there's a lot of times it's like, you know what, can I just move this for you so it's not as awkward for me? Because it's much easier to carry it on top of, held over my head, like a hand on each side. They're usually 4 foot wide sheets, so I can comfortably do that. I mean, I even hold on to the edges. I may just like have my hands placed near the edges so I got good balance. But yeah, I don't want to be rude, but sometimes it's like, it's more polite to me if I could just like take it over, or it's easier on me if I could just take over and do it. So anyway, all right, one more knot and I'm ready to roll this up. And Mr. Service has decided to come up and rub up against my legs. There we go. He's actually at the top of the stairs. He's probably going to want to go downstairs in a second. So, nope. He was thinking about it, but he decided against it. All right, let's go ahead and make sure tension's even before I put the flag on. All right, flag is on. Let's walk it back the rest of the way. All right. Make sure I've got even enough tension where I don't have excess thread on just one of them. Looks good. Pull it back here. And there we go. And now I want to cut clean. Yep, he's decided it's active rub up against Torin's leg time. Also, apparently grooming time, which he just started doing. Let's go ahead and tie this off. And he's decided to lay down on top of the marker piece of tape I have on the floor to let me know where to put the flag on when it's drawn out. All right, let's see. And one looks good. And two. It's a little frazzled. There we go. That looks better. And I think this is 4, but I'll do one more just to be safe. And I really hope these don't come untied at the end. All right, there we go. And since this is green, that means we don't have as much hang down length because it's on the inner rails. So I want to, oops, let's put that back there. And I want to get as close as I can to the D-ring. There we go. Don't step on the cat's tail. Since he's had to survive on his own a little bit, if he gets annoyed, he will swat at me or bite. He's a little upset I'm not petting him. So, get back of the head scratch. Yeah. All right. Drop down behind. We got to focus again. Hope that's good. All right, so under the first, over the second, under the third, over the fourth, under the fifth, and over the sixth. All right, let's make sure it's above all the flags. And alrighty. Yeah, this one is going to need a little bit of unroll. Make sure I got the right one. There we go. And there we go. Pull off the oldest flag, which is this one. There we go. And of course, painter's tape wants to stick to my fingers. All right, we are ready for yellow next. Catch him on the chat real quick first. Yep, definitely is hazardous. That's always the mystery with cats. Hey, Jeff, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you coming on. So as you can see, we are actually about 1/5 of the way set up. I went ahead and picked up a drafting pen or touch pen for my Surface Book so I can try and go ahead and draw that Godzilla better. I'm going to do a search for like low-res images and see if I can't make that look a little bit better, or at least more Godzilla-like and less like Raptor or just general lizard, lizard type. And I'm thinking maybe instead of having the tongue, I might go ahead and try and do like, the energy blast, something like that. We'll have to see what we can do with that. But I will definitely run it past you before I go ahead and finalize it. I got about a week or so until I have got this set up and we'll have enough braided that it'll become a deadline issue. So but it's good to see you on. All right. I will definitely be watching the YNW Melly stream you've got going for tomorrow. See how that turns out. All right. And let's go ahead and put this on here. All right. So we are doing yellow next. Scissors over here. And detach. I am really pleased with how well the additions for this have been going. Yep, I can just walk this on back. Just got to be careful that it doesn't snag and I'm not aware. Yep. Once I get the back one tweaked a little bit more, I should be definitely moving this very quickly. I'm hoping the setup time can be kept around maybe like 5 or 6 hours total. Mr. Serbles found a free tama rolling on the floor and is playing with it. That was that noise. All right, let me second knot on there. And it disturbed him enough. He's come over and is now rubbing up against my leg again. So, oh, almost forgot. As soon as I get this one on, if Jeff is still on, I'm going to show him what Danny's finished braid looks like. She still hasn't given me a mailing address, and she's not sure about her P.O. box still being active. And I don't want to accidentally ship it to an inactive P.O. box. I might forward it, or it might just be a pain in the butt. All right, so walk this back, carefully step around the cat that's lying in the middle of my pathway, as cats are wont to do. Put the flag on here, and a little bit of twistiness. I got to do a little bit extra to make sure that I don't have some extra thread where I'm not supposed to. All right, that looks good. And okay, that went over none of them. All right, let's try this again. Get this down here. Oops, magnet on the wrong side. There we go. Now that's secure. And snip. But not that snip. That was from a much younger age. Got to be careful, or I'm going to have to self-report not being quite so kid-friendly. Oops. Grab that. Yes, my brain is going for free association. I apologize if it's too confusing. Alrighty. And let me go ahead and... Oh, Jeff, if you want on, I'm happy to send you a link if you'd like. Just let me know. And go. That's 2. And we'll do 2 more and start rolling this one up. And 1 more. There we go. And let's put that back there. And I'll start rolling this up. I'm just hoping I don't accidentally train Mr. Serbles, aka short for Cerberus or Serby, that strings are fun and he starts deciding he wants to play with them, because then he'll not be able to get up here as much as he used to, and this is one of his refuges from the other cats. There we go. And we're rolling it up from the other end. That looks like that's about the right length. And all right. Okay, understood. You're at work. No time for actually talking. Gotta make sure you give the proper impression. that you're actually doing the work you're doing. It's not so much doing it, you also have to be seen doing it. So this is Danny's braid. And here's the back side. Yours is going to be a little bit wider. So as you can see, it's pretty close here. So it's going to be like about that much wider. This is 84 strands. Yours is going to be 100. Oh, and your discussion about heights and whatnot as far as YouTubers and the like. I'm actually on the shorter side. I'm 5'8". So my dad was about 6 feet, but my mom was like 5'1". So I seem to have more of her genetics being dominant than his in general, as far as like hair and other stuff like that. All right, so under the first one, over 2, under 3, over 4, under 5, and over 6. And get those roughly the same distance and pull off the oldest one. So that would be this one here. And there we go. Got a nice even weave. I don't know how well that's showing up on stream. Thank you. That was very kind of you. Alrighty. Put that one in the right spot there. All right, we are ready for green on the next one. I do have to say, you picked a really nice green. Looks really good with the yellow, too. Step around the cat. That was one of the things that did annoy me about my last job. They weren't worried as much as if you were doing the work as if you looked like you were doing the work. They cared a lot more about the appearance than some of the other things that you'd think they'd care about more. But, I'm not working there anymore, so can't complain too much currently. That was a pain in the butt when I was dealing with them. All right. Looks like I did get them repositioned the way I should have. A little bit of resistance, but not too bad. After the last stream, I redid the yellow to where there are not any real crossovers, so the yellow are behaving really nicely today. So I will definitely be doing a setup stream and a shop stream this weekend. All right. There's that. Okay. Snagged on something there, but it's clear now. All right, and not one. A little short on the tail, but not too bad. And not 2. And come on, there we go. Not 3. And why are you being difficult? Not a major annoyance, but that last knot wasn't all that clean, but 3 before were good, so good enough. And if something's getting cut off the end, it will not affect the final product at all. All right, walking this back here. And let's mark the halfway point. Definitely going to need to set up a spray bottle of water, see if that helps. It may not, but it's worth a shot. There we go, flag is on. And let's go ahead and see, tension is good. Let's go ahead and it needs to be matching pole to pole. There we go. And there we go. Let's go ahead and feed this on through. Bring it over here so you can see the knot tying. And know that I'm not cheating. I'm not sure what cheating would look like at this stage. Some sort of shrink wrap thing or something like that. Be obvious. And yes, my brain is definitely in free association mode, so I'm probably going to have some really weird random observations as they strike me. But some of them might actually be funny. And we're getting there. There we go. All righty. I'm thinking that I need to start listening to some more audiobooks. Some of the usual stuff I would listen to on YouTube, which were like Reddit reading stories and stuff like that, like Red Wheel, Yellow Cat, r/, and the like. I'm not getting a lot. I mean, I've caught up for everything, and I listen to some of it, and then it's done, and I've got gaps, and I should probably be listening to audiobooks more because I do enjoy that. And when I'm just kind of like randomly going from YouTube video to YouTube video, it kind of feels more like I'm just wasting time. And even if I'm enjoying it, it does leave me feeling frustrated later on. I should start searching for more channels that are things that I like, as far as like 3D printing and stuff like that. So I have been getting a lot of laser engraver / laser cutter videos in my feed lately. And yes, I have been planning to eventually get one, but I need to have a justified need, because if you just buy a tool and don't use it, it's just taking up space. And it's a very expensive way to make your space less usable for the stuff you do want to do. All right. And oops, that one's a little, no, I can just drop it down. It's supposed to be on the lower one. There we go. And bring that up even to the rest of them. And that one's a little high. Let's pull that one back a bit. Same for this one here. There we go. And pull off the oldest flag, which is this one. There we go. Want to pull it off cleanly so it doesn't leave any tape on the threads. Not that it's a big deal. It's painter's tape, so there's not a whole lot of strong adhesive, and it doesn't leave residue. And I don't leave it on long enough that it, eventually it would leave residue, but I don't leave it on that long. All right, so let's see. Yeah, let's even this up so it's the same top and bottom. There we go. All right. In case you catch it on replay, have a good one, Kumihimo Steve. I realize you probably left before I had a chance to reply. I like pretty much most of the LawTube streamers I listen to, like Nick Rekieta, Ian Runkle, Jeff on here, Rob from Long Lumber, I also like Danny's streams. I haven't been catching as many of them as I probably would like to for potentially criminal Sean. I really like Kurt's Supreme Court analysis, but when he's having breathing issues, I have makes me. I don't know if it's like something like a synesthesia, but it makes me uncomfortable when I'm listening to it, and I realize that is entirely not his fault. It's entirely in my head. But unless it's like usually a Supreme Court thing or he's a guest on another stream, I tend not to watch him as much as I would like to for his legal analysis. But I also like, well, for a while there, I was listening to some of the humans, FY streamers. Basically, humans are space orcs. Kind of the opposite of the old trope where it's like humans get out into the wider known universe and we're like the least intelligent, least advanced, least durable aliens out there. And it's kind of nice to hear it from the other perspective, but it gets kind of repetitive. There's not all that many people writing those stories. I've been listening to some creepypasta stories, but then again, that's more like audiobooks than it is podcasts. I like ones that cover like some political topics that I'm interested in, deep dive stuff. I like listening to like Robert Barnes's Bourbon with Barnes on Locals. All right. Don't want to get too distracted. Let me get set up here, and I just did yellow, I believe. Let me double check that. Nope, I just did green, so that's 7. Okay, so yellow next. All right. I'm behind on some audiobooks that I want to read. I did just finish Monster Hunter Memoirs Fever, co-written by Jason Cordova along with Larry Correia. I'm somewhat eclectic. I have been watching some of the Audit the Audit and Lackluster. I realize that they are probably a little far over the actual line as far as what they state as what can and can't be done. But it's a good idea to see what's going on with like other types of law enforcement out there and see some of the stuff that I want to be careful that I don't ever wind up doing. Not that I'm a probable cause law enforcement agent. As I like to say to some people, as far as a constable, I'm like barely in the law enforcement spectrum. Depending on how you look at it, we're either just like maybe a little bit more or a little bit less, quote unquote, LEO type category than prison guards. But I think it's a good idea to, excuse me, make sure that you're staying well on the proper side of the ethical line. But again, I'm not really anywhere where I would ever be doing anything investigatory. I'm strictly active enforcement as far as orders of execution, orders for possession. I can do summary warrants for, we can do more than just summary warrants, but constables can serve rest warrants if it's one ordered by a judge or something along those lines. But the county I live in, they don't like using constables for that. And while we can do mail notification of warrants that, hey, there's a bench warrant out for you. If you don't settle it, you could be arrested. They don't really want us to go out and pick anybody up. and bring them in this county. In other counties, they do in Pennsylvania. So I'm not likely to actually be doing it. Sorry, Mr. Serbs, don't want to scare you too much, but I was a little bit distracted there. I apologize to you, Mr. Cat. I really hope I haven't been rambling too much on that. I realize I've gone a bit far afield with that. He has decided he wants to be, I already put one up there. He's decided he wants to be under the chair, which is entirely reasonable. I'm less likely to step on him or freak him out if I do that. And there we go. All right. I do have to say that I've been looking over a little bit on the new monetization, and it does match with what I've been told, that at my level of subscriptions, ad revenue for the streams I do is literally pennies per stream. I don't think I've had any of them that have been more than like about maybe 30 or 40 cents for the big ones. So not sure about YouTube Premium. It's been kind of in the same ballpark. But it looks like membership and super chats are currently where it's working for me at this point. So I need to make sure that I'm providing plenty of benefit for the members. And let's see, what else was I thinking? And I need to get my Kumihimo related store that I've been thinking of set up pretty soon, and start making stuff for that. There we go. But the other reason I was saying that I need to do more audiobooks is because I have found out recently that I am still, if I read with my eyes an actual novel or something like that, or something similar, I am still I get started and it's hard, like really, really hard for me to stop before I'm done with the story. And I really don't want to lose a job over something like that. So I need to do the audiobooks, which I can stop without too much issue, to be able to listen, read this, quote unquote, read the stuff I want to read. There's a bunch of books I need to catch up on. I need to finish off the I'm forgetting it now, but the 40K Inquisitor series that Nick Ricada recommends. I'm like halfway through the third book in there, and I have stopped. I have a Alan Dean Foster series I want to finish off. I'm like about midway through the second book on that. All right. Let's see if he complains about me sitting down over his head, Mr. Cat. All right. And let's go ahead and, all right, so go behind and then under for the first one, over for the second, under for the third, over for the fourth, under for the fifth, over for the sixth, and under for the seventh. All right. Hold that up even. That's looking pretty good. Nothing's on the ground. It should be up a little bit higher. All right, so yep, it needs a bit of an unroll on this side. And Move the oldest flag. All right, so I have 28 tama on, which means I am over a quarter of the way through. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6. Okay, 14. Yeah, 28. I am over the quarter of the way done mark. Let me catch up on the chat. I did listen to a lot of Welcome to Night Vale, but I probably haven't listened to any in like the last 2 years or so. But I do like it. It's rather nice one there. I do like the things are weird genre type thing. I do like potatoes too, and I need to not eat near as many of them as I do because they are very high on the glycemic index and have a lot of calories. So, yep, who doesn't like potatoes? That's entirely understandable. You're running on at least three divided attention streams, which I was hearing as far as on a stream where they were talking about, or a video where they're talking about, not answering questions when you're pulled over. And they said that one of the things that the officers are looking for is how you handle when you have divided attention. Like, they ask you for your license and registration. While you're looking for it, they ask you more questions to see how well you respond. Because, if you're intoxicated or whatever, it's a lot harder to do divided attention things. And I'm wondering how ADT, attention deficit people, will, if they do better on that, just because they're used to doing that type of stuff all the time. And okay, I believe that's lawyer, All right. Well, I am thinking about it. Let me quickly take a look at my customization. I need to do that in a different thing here. All right, so let me go back to channel content and let's see, reload this and then go to edit and customization. And let's see who's streaming now. Search videos from other channels. All right, so looks like, yeah. All right, I'm setting it for Rob just in case I end relatively soon. Let me save that. All right. Okay, so redirect is set up for chat raid. And speaking of which, I never did watch to all of Rob's stream from last night. I need to catch up on that. I was catching a good chunk of Megan's stream this morning. Listening to that trial is just like really, really frustrating for me. My roommate has had issues with medical problems, and she's the one that I could theoretically talk to about them and have her understand and whatnot. But it's such a frustrating thing. I don't want to make her stressed out and uncomfortable. Yeah. Let me grab that one there. And that one's also going to need a cleanup, so I'll leave that over here. All right, so green is next. Give the cat some scritches. So he's not feeling entirely ignored. Okay, that one's pre-staged. We are doing green next. But yeah, this is actually running quite a bit fast. Well, last time was a major speed increase. This is definitely a speed increase, though not quite as much of one. And one of these is stuck. Let's see which one has tension on it. All right, so it is this one. All right. Okay. Still having tension. All right, that looks like that released that. Okay. green does still need a bit of work, but not enough to stop and spend some time on it. I'll do that before the start of next stream, or after the end of this stream. And knot looks like it's doing pretty good. Yeah, first one's set, nice and clean. Not too long of a tail, but a decent sized one. Make sure they're all wrapped through. And that time. 2 more, and I'll be good to go. Tomorrow is going to be a little bit of fun. I should have a nice check from the port for some of the work I've done recently, which would be nice. I also probably will stop by a place I need to do to upload my CPAP data so I can get my insurance supplies, or my insurance will know I've been in compliance, so they will actually send me the supplies to keep using the CPAP. Because if you don't use it, they won't send you the supplies, at least for my insurance plan. All right, and one doesn't want to go. There we go. And snip. The cat has decided to lay down in a spot where he's out of the way, so hopefully I won't have issues with him for a while. There we go. And I do have to say that since we hit the 4,000 hours minimum, it's been nice not stressing so much about getting all the watch hours. I know I got to keep them up. But I realize if I drop down for a little bit, it won't be an issue. But I'm hoping the channel will continue to grow and it won't be an issue. And if they ever do raise the minimums, I will be well above that, where it's not an issue. Can I say issues any more times? So I'm a bit too old for my wife to have an issue of child. She is slightly younger than me. She has not spent any of her life in the 60s, unlike me. There we go. Almost threw that one on the floor. Fortunately, I did not. All right, let's make sure it's not snagging like it wants to. There we go. And line this up a little bit better. There we go. It's also nice to know that enough people are enjoying the channel that even if I don't get a lot on the live stream, people will watch it on the replay. So the tentative plan for the shop stream is I may be trying to do the wax molds, or the molds for the wax cylinders for lubricating the chainmail shears. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that one done. I also have some wood I need to do. And I think there was another project as well, plus getting the Taka-Dai stuff. Speaking of doing things, I need to find out how much it would cost me to buy a 4-foot by 8-foot by 1/4 inch thick sheet of the gray PVC we use, so that I could buy that and use it to make the stuff on the warping frame that I've added here, in more than just one. I can, take some of the scraps that see, under 1, over 2, under 3, over 4, under 5, over 6, under, oops, let's see, did I? Nope, okay, that's good. Under 7, and over 8. There we go. Make sure that's even with the rest of them. There we go. Let's take off the oldest one. So that's 1, 2, 3. This would be 4. Now we keep 3 active flags going. There we go. So I feel that, I don't mind using the scrap from work that would ordinarily be thrown away or recycled, admittedly, but we don't get paid for recycle, so it's not any bother to my work if I use it instead of having it recycled, because I would be using it for something productive. But if I'm going to do it as a business, I want to actually, buy it rather than, depend on that. All right, let me see. You have a good evening, Ive Chang. It's nice to have you on. You have a safe one and happy braiding. All right, so I've been doing this about 2 hours. That's about how long I want to do as a minimum. So I've got 30 right now, I believe. So I'm going to see if I can get, I'll do one more for 32, which is over, or it's about a third through, just like 1.5 short of a third. And that'll mean that I did 24 this time. So 2 hours for 24. So yeah, about 8 hours to actually set it up. Though as time goes on, I know I will get faster. So I need to do yellow. Which means I have about 5 to 6 hours left to do on setup. I think I might see if I can get my wife to video the whole process, following me through as I do this, with kind of up close on each end, so that people can see with a little more detail exactly what I'm doing here. I also need to go ahead and make the intro video, the glossary video, the intro to Kumihimo supplies stuff, like this is where you can get these supplies. These are good supplies. These aren't good supplies. That's something to ask. Would you folks like it if I did reviews of different Kumihimo kits and supplies? There's not a whole lot of variation out there to try. And I'm not anywhere near the point where I can buy a bunch of equipment like Takadai's without it being a major hit. And I would kind of rather make my own for some of this stuff. Yeah, I'll have to think about it. Let's see, that one. All right, let's see. Okay, there we go. One of the threads did not want to go through the knot properly, but I was able to pull the individual thread even. All right, let's go ahead and walk this back a bit more. All right. I was considering staying up later, given that I have an hour later to get to work, but I think if I'm going to do a nice long stream Saturday and Sunday both, I should probably get a little more sleep tonight and get a really good night's sleep tomorrow night. I have a haircut I'm getting Saturday morning. It's 10 o'clock, so I should be done by about 1 p.m. my time. So I might start streaming about 3 o'clock on Saturday. It'll probably be a shop stream if I get enough stuff organized. If not, it'll be setup stream for the Takadai, and I'll do the shop stream on Sunday. All right. And passing that on through there. Move this over here. Make sure I don't have the tail too long. I'm trying to keep all of these strands on the tama roughly the same length so that they all end about the same point. So I'm not wasting any, and I don't accidentally wind up with one really short when I have to either figure if I'm going to try and add some length on or have to end shorter than I would like. So far, I seem to be doing pretty good. I haven't had anything that's ended too short. I have had some excess, but I think that was because I planned for a bit more than what they said they actually wanted. Alrighty, there we go. Almost done for the evening. And there we go. Let's put a lark's head knot on this, and we're ready to roll it up on the other end. All right, this will make us approximately 1/3 of the way set up. And next stream might actually get to 100% set up. We'll have to see. But at the rate I'm going, we're looking like maybe 4 or 5 hours left on setup. Because like 3 to 3.5 hours got us 1/3 of the way there. So maybe 6 hours, 5 or 6 hours. All right. So this one gets dropped down here. Let's unroll this a bit more. And under the first, over the second, under the third, over the fourth, under the fifth, over the sixth, under the seventh, and over the eighth. Alrighty. Make sure that's nice and even. Take off the oldest flag. And there we go. I will catch up with chat, and then I will go ahead and end the stream. I believe Rob is still going, so you guys will be redirected if you want to. If not, feel free not to do that, but I think everybody who's on likes Rob. Marmar. His name is Cerberus because, as I understand it, in Greek, that's from, since there's no soft C sound, it's all hard K type sounds with the C. It's Kerberos, which is essentially translates to spot. Like the three-headed dog guarding the gates of Hades, which, if his name, as I understand it, is actually Kerberos, that would therefore make him Spot. But I could be entirely wrong on that. I got the thing from Jim Butcher's Harry Dresden series, and I have never actually verified it because it sounds so good. I don't want it to not be true. So, all right. Let's see. Yes, Rob is good people. And hey, that works. Alrighty, so I think we got only 4 people left on, so it's not going to be much of a raid. And I think you folks are actually probably most of you are already there as well. So I want to thank everybody who came on, keep me company. We are about a third of the way done. And again, we'll probably have a stream Saturday and Sunday doing different things. So thank you very much, everybody. Do a quick check over on Rumble, see if anybody chatted over there. It does not look like they did. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and, yep, that is indeed the correct spelling. All right. As always, stay safe and happy braiding.